Good morning, this is Rajalingam, your biology teacher. Today we are going to discussing about five kingdom process given by the R.H. Whittaker. Okay, before that we have to understand, we know that living things, different living things are there in the world, that is plants, animals and microorganisms. So human beings are also included in the animals. So that's why all living things are considered as a bios. So but there are different characteristics of the human beings or animals, or plants or animals. We know that plants, they can't move from one place to another place, okay, but animals, they can move from one place to another place. So this is the characteristic difference between a living thing and another living thing. So that's why a same characteristics living things are considered in a specific genus, and different type of another type of same characteristics are included in another genus. So all plants are considered in a plantae, all animals are considered in animalia. Okay, so that's why first how the name is given to the living thing perfectly, the name, which means we know that Mangifera indica, mango. So how the name is given to the plant, especially we can call that Mangifera indica, in the place of Mangifera indica we can call that Azadirachta indica. Is it true? No. So actually the specific name only we can call by the identification of by physical and characteristics identification of a plant. At the same time we can call monkey as a monkey only. We don't want to call the monkey is a dog. So we can understand and we can identify their name by their physical structure. That's why when we observe the living thing, we can perfectly call them. If it is a monkey, we can call that monkey only. So that's why this is the giving the names. So this is the major aspect to differentiate the all living things. So we know that biodiversity, all living things only, but some of them are plants, some of them are animals, and some of them are microorganisms. So those are living things only, but physically and characteristically they are different. So all these are presented living on the earth only. So this is called as biodiversity. Okay, biodiversity, it is coming for a 2 marks. Okay, next one. So the name, how the name is given to a perfect plant or perfect living thing, we have to understand. Before that, we know that Aristotle, so Aristotle is a scientist, and for the first time these scientists actually identify a specific living things and given the names. Majorly these scientists only divided the all living things into 2 types only. Okay, so actually we are now living things are many types, but first of all Aristotle only divided all living things into 2 types, that is so first one, the seeds, those are modified into plants, shrubs and herbs only. So this is his Aristotle's first theory. What is that? The seeds only they can modify it into plants, shrubs and herbs. This is the first one. Second one, the animals whom they are having the animals, the red blood, which is having the red blood and which is not having the red blood. So this is the second type of living things. So first one is seeds is converted into plants, shrubs and herbs. At the same time, the living things, animals are two types of animals are there according to the Aristotle. What are the types? The red blood having animals. So this is a type of animals, and which the animal is not having the red blood. So some of the animals, which we know that cockroaches, they don't have the red blood, they have the white blood only. So this is the different. Okay, all animals means monkeys, including human beings, also having the red blood. But some of the cockroaches, especially cockroach, they having the white blood only. So that's why he divided the animals into two. What is that? Which is having the red blood and which is not having the red blood. Those are two types. Animals are two types. Which is having red blood, which is not having the red blood. Okay, so according to Aristotle, two types of he divided into two types, that is seeds into plants, shrubs and herbs. Second one, the animals which is having the red blood and which is not having the red blood. So according to Aristotle, this is the nomenclature. Next one, we know that Carolus Linnaeus, according to second Linnaeus, so these scientists also divided all living things into two types. First one is Plantae and second one is animals. So according to the Linnaeus, Carolus Linnaeus, he divided all living things into two types, that is plant and animals. So one question arises, which means the some of the microorganisms, which means fungi, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, all those are comes under the Plantae only, according to the Linnaeus scientist. Okay, so this is also not clearly divided. That's why after Linnaeus, R.H. Whittaker, a scientist name called R.H. Whittaker, he divided all living things into 5 kingdoms. So that's why this is called as 5 kingdom process. So you remind this. This is damn sure question for 8 marks. So randomly in public examination, these question will come in for essay or 8 marks question. So you have to definitely be careful about this, and you have to draw all this chart for essay for your clear understand. It is not there in your textbook also. You have to, when you write down all this chart, you can understand, you have an idea about all the essay. First, in 5 kingdom process, these Whittaker divided all living things into 5 kingdoms. First one Munera, second one Protista, third one Fungi, fourth one Plantae, and final one Animalia. So these are the 5 types of kingdoms according to the R.H. Whittaker. This is the R.H. Whittaker kingdom classification or 5 kingdom classification. So any type the question will come, R.H. Whittaker classification or 5 kingdom classification. So first one we can see, we know that first one Munera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Okay, we know that first one Munera. Let us we discuss about Munera. This is the first kingdom of R.H. Whittaker. So this Monera is again divided into 4 types of prokaryotes. So 4 types of prokaryotes, what are that? First one Archaebacteria, second one Eubacteria, and Ascomycetes and Mycoplasmas. So these are the 4 types of prokaryotes which is presented in the kingdom of Monera. So first one Archaebacteria. So Archaebacteria is the first prokaryotic organism which is presented in the Monera. It is the first one. Okay. So let us discuss about Archaebacteria. Okay. Majorly 3 types of organisms are included in this Archaebacteria, are considered as Archaebacteria, that is
Sir.
Okay, majorly 3 types of prokaryotic bacteria are included in the Archaebacteria, that is halophiles, thermoacidophiles and methanogens. So these are the 3 types of prokaryotic bacteria. Okay, first one halophiles means these are presented in a acidic, heavy acidic places. Acidic places means very salty areas. Okay. Very salty areas only. They can live in very salty areas, and some of the other types of bacteria they can live in hot springs, very hot, which means human beings are also, they can't survive in that type of hot areas. So that is called as hot springs. So hot springs means it is a very hot area. So in this hot area also some of the Archaebacteria are, they can live. Those bacteria are called as thermoacidophiles. So you have to understand one thing. These three are coming for 2 marks. What is that? What is meant by halophiles? Halophiles means the Archaebacteria, those are presented in very salty area or acidic places. Those are called as halophiles. And the second question, what is meant by thermoacidophiles? Thermoacidophiles means the Archaebacteria which is lives in a very hot areas or hot springs. Those are called as thermoacidophiles. Next one, third type of Archaebacteria, methanogens. So these are lives in a mud areas. Okay, these are lives in a mud areas. And majorly these methanogens are presented in ruminants. So ruminants means example is cow, buffalo, like that. So ruminant animals means the animal, they can take the food from the gut. Okay, take from the food from the digestive system into the mouth, and they can chewing that food again and again. So these animals are called as ruminant animals. So these ruminant animals, example cow, buffalo. So in that ruminants, which is the gut of that ruminants. That gut means a digestive part of a ruminant. So in that digestive part of a ruminant, these methanogens are present, and this is majorly useful for the production of methane gas. So we know that biogas also called as methane gas. So this methane gas is useful for the for the majorly for home only. For kitchen purpose only we are using this methane gas, and some of industrial small industrial purpose also this methane gas is also utilizes. So this methane gas is majorly produced by the methanogen bacteria which is presented in the gut of a ruminants. Okay, so these actually the methane gas how it is produced means the methanogens, those are utilized the dung of a cow or buffalo by the spoil of that dung, dung, dung. So methanogens are producing the biogas from the dung of a ruminant animals. So these are the uses of the methanogen bacteria. So majorly three types of bacteria are there: halophiles, thermoacidophiles, and methanogens. Halophiles means they can live in the acidic or salty areas, and thermoacidophiles are presented in very hot areas, and methanogens are presented in the gut of a ruminant animals, and they can produce the biogas or methane by the spillage of dung into the biogas. So these are the major three types of bacteria are presented in the archaebacteria